Santa Cruz, California, home to sandy beaches, the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, Big Basin State Park, and the hometown to David Allen Lynch. David Lynch was born and raised in Santa Cruz. He held many jobs like Taco Bell and McDonald's throughout his youth, but he thought that the main job he had to maintain was to keep his social life up. He thought he owned the town as he could do whatever, whenever, wherever, and with whoever he wanted to do it with. Eventually, David's social life got the best of him, and he dropped out of high school as he had no motivation to do schoolwork any longer. David eventually learned that he could do anything he wanted to if he put his mind to it. He needed that bit of driving force behind him, and eventually he would end up on top. To be exact, just remember the numbers 8 and 45. As most of us are just reaching towards our dreams now, we need to realize that sometimes we need that driving force also. The cards may seem like they're all stacked against us at some points in our life, but keep in mind that anything we want, we can have if we just work hard enough to get it. I myself feel down sometimes, or like I'll never reach my goal. But we're all there at some point. Trust me when I say that when you do reach one of these goals, you'll realize that the hard work and effort you put into achieving that goal was really worth it and will make a difference. So in order to be successful with achieving your goals, there's a few things that you can do to keep your chin up. Be optimistic, ask for help if needed, and try to find something to motivate you. So what do these statements mean? Well, David seemed to have nothing working for him. He was financially unstable, didn't have a high school education, or the support of his family members because of the situation he was in. So what does he do? Well, first, he studies and gets his GED. Then in 1980, at age 17, he enlists in the United States Army, stationed in Hawaii. Now, even though he had to move thousands of miles away from his family, live on his own, and be at the bottom of the totem pole for the military, he thought of these negatives as positives. So in order to do this, you need to think of all the good things that are around you. Think of the glass as half full, or try to think of the things around you in a positive light. Martin Seligman, father of positive psychology, stated to Susan Valley in 2009, if you are a pessimist in the sense that when bad things happen to you, they are going to last forever, you undermine everything you do, then you are about 8 times as likely to get depressed, you are less likely to succeed at work, your personal relationships are more likely to break up, and you are likely to have shorter and more illness-filled life. That's the main discovery I associate with my lifetime. Now, if you put yourself in someone else's shoes, you would just know how good you actually have it. So remember that your situation is not unique, and that there are many other people going through the same situations that you are. So try to make a chain link of positive events. One positive event might lead you to do another positive action. And if one thing does not work out, don't think of it as not working out, which is negative. Think of it as a lesson, which is positive. So back to David. He then met Rebecca Trinkle. They were not married, and they were not financially stable, yet again for David. Eventually, Rebecca had David's first child, Tiffany Lynch. David and Rebecca got hitched and lived happily ever after. That's not quite the truth. According to David, he and Rebecca struggled a lot. They were relocated and ended up having 2 more children who they could not financially support. They were forced to depend on the people around them. So they couldn't just depend on each other. They had to depend on the family that they had and the friends around them. So you can't be afraid to ask for help. If you never ask for help, then others are not going to know that you're struggling. And people are good for the most part, and they want to help. So family and friends don't want to see someone down or hurting. They will most likely try to do everything in their willpower to help you out and get you on top. Now, asking for help doesn't necessarily mean that you're asking for financial help or that you're asking for somebody to watch your child while you're at work. It may just mean to ask somebody to listen to you or to have your back when you're struggling through these hard times. Now, because David had stuck with the military and was successful in the military, he ended up moving to the position of first sergeant or class E8. Now, remember those numbers I told you to keep in mind at the beginning? There's one, number 8. Now, after 21 years, David retired from the Army when his family was located in Kansas. He needed a change in lifestyle, and that's what he did. David ended up landing a job traveling for a trash company to use what he had learned in the Army to fix garbage trucks. All of the hard work that he learned in the military was now paying off. And though even when he would have a tough day, he would try to be self-motivating because he needed to do this for his family. His family needed the income, and even though it was hard to be away from them, he had to do it. There was no other option. Now, while some others have families pushing them, others have aspirations or goals that they want to achieve for themselves. This goal may not be something that your family supports, but if it's what motivates you, that's what you do. You need to find something that motivates you, something to inspire you. Everyone faces tough days in their lives. And if we all just keep in mind that we need to do the things that we're doing for whatever reason, we'll get through it. If you have something that motivates you and can get you to accomplish a goal, then reaching that goal may push you towards others. Now, David was moving up in the company. He had more responsibility, more involvement, and more motivation to do things the right way. Now, according to howtomotivate.org, people often find their inner soul fighting with the mind and heart in search of an answer to the question, how to motivate, waving in their mind. Most of them have the misconception that success is only perspiration, but that's not true. Success definitely requires perspiration, but also requires a bit of inspiration or motivation. David was now successful. So let's review. In order to get where you want to be in life, you need to be optimistic, ask for help when needed, and try to find something that motivates you. So can you find a way to incorporate the changes that David made in his life to get where he wanted to be into yours? Houston, Texas, the 4th largest city in the nation, home of NASA, the Astros, and home to the 45th floor office of David Lynch.